Okay, got it cleaned up, and well, mostly cleaned up, got most of the dirt off. You can see I got those threads cleaned off with a wire brush pretty good. I can't get to this one with anything, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off right here and right here. And that's mostly just because I think what I wanna do is just bevel these edges here and here, on this side, on that side, and then again on this side, and then get a deep penetrating weld in a V-groove, and hopefully get it back together. I don't think it's going to be as strong with just that as it was originally, so I might end up putting some extra supports all the way from here to here. I'll have to plasma cut a piece down that's shaped like this on the outside and comes back here, and I can weld it there and weld it along these edges. It's not going to add digging width because this is already sticking out here and here. So if I put a piece of steel here and a piece of steel here, that should give it some more extra support. I was thinking about closing in this backside, but then I can't get to the bolt heads. And I do change this out sometimes for this middle buster blade. And I modified this middle buster blade so that I could attach it to this. All right, let's look at this a bit closer. So that's where it broke right there. I was just going to cut these bolts off, but I think I can reuse them. They've got a nice flat part right here, so they recess in here and are tapered correctly, so we're going to try to reuse these. All right, let's see if this little DeWalt 3/8 drive will do it. Okay, got a little work to do, don't we? And that's what those look like. They're just sort of carriage bolts with a square head right there, but they're really flat right there. They're not rounded on top. So we've got a lot of grinding to do. It looks like it's about straight there, but we got a lot of grinding to do, don't we? And I'm not super worried about this hole being a little bit smaller. I can drill it out if I ended up making it a little bit smaller. I'd rather have a little bit smaller than too big and the bolt wallowing around and moving around in there. So let's try to make it a little smaller, and then I have to drill it out, I will. Okay, just got it tacked on. I'm using this magnet on top to keep it straight as far as this goes, and it's just kind of hold it in place. I tacked one side. Well, first I squared it up with the square just to make sure the metal looked even on both sides. Okay. And it probably doesn't look in the camera, but that's pretty close. I tacked this side, and then I just clamped this clamp on here, on the top right here, and then bent it over this way until the metal contacted on this side, and then tacked it there, over here. So hopefully that'll hold it straight. Let's get the tip on it. Let's get the cutting edge on it, and just make sure the cutting edge looks mostly straight, and if it is, we'll go ahead and burn that in. And you know, there's a little wiggle room inside the bolt holes already, even that good bolt hole. There's a little wiggle room that I can move it side to side, but it looks like I can move it pretty much fully that direction. Look at the bottom there, and then fully that direction. So I just finger tighten these. I'm not going to crank them down, and it looks like there's, you know, it's straight enough. Should do the job. I know some of you professional welders out there are looking at my gap and going, yeah, have fun with that. And but I think I can make it work. I made these little gussets for the side here, whatever you call these, that'll just sit on the side here, and I clamped one in already. You can see this one right here, and I'm going to weld that along the bottom, of course, along this edge and here. And I decided I'd go ahead and use the rest of this. This is quarter-inch thick, quarter-inch thick, quarter-inch thick, 1.5 inches wide. So this is a perfect fit, and it's perfect length. So I'm going to go ahead and add this right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and weld it along the edges here and here and here. And then I'll drill it from the bottom, drill the holes all the way through. And adding a 1/4 inch to those bolts, you know, I had a little bit sticking out the end of the nut, so it should be enough. I shouldn't be screwing myself there because I'm capable of that. So I think welding it along here and here, and welding both sides of this and just along the tip edge here, and then drilling those out will give it plenty support. This won't be the weak link anymore. It'll be something else. And like a commenter commented below, you know, they may have engineered that into it to where that's what breaks if anything's going to break. Apparently some of these have shear pins on them somewhere, so they'll pop over before something else breaks on your tractor. So, you know, if I'm making this so strong, I could be putting my 3-point mounting parts at risk on my tractor. If this doesn't give, that might give. So Icon brand of adjustable pliers, sort of like the Nipex or Nipex, whatever you call them. Let's see. That was easy. You know, I bought these to keep in my tractor just so I'd have something that would fit a pretty wide range of things. I mean, that's pretty big. But I might need a pair for just to keep in the garage, just for, I mean, it's so quickly adjustable. It's awesome. So the welding's not great, but it's not terrible. Steve, if you're looking at this, stop laughing. I'm sure I overdid it, but this probably won't break here again. That's my hope. I had to ground these little, a couple little notches right there just to get this to fit in. This is reversible, so, which is cool. Still kind of hot. Okay, if any of y'all are dumb enough like me to break your subsoiler, this is an 11/16 socket that fits these nuts on here. Just go ahead and run them down. We're not going to hurt anything. Definitely reinforced. It looks pretty middle-ish from back there. Okay, good. And 1/4 inch reinforcement there, 1/4 inch reinforcement along the top. You can see it right there, 1/4 inch right there. And I just used the 1.5 inch wide pieces that I had, some piece that I had laying around. I guess that's the good thing about starting to do welding projects, right? You start accumulating scraps and pretty soon you can start using them because you get enough pieces that you can make things work without having to go buy something. So because you already paid for it, of course. All right, well, I'm going to take this off. We'll get it soaked in phosphoric acid and then get it painted, probably the wrong color yellow, of course. And then we got to get these bent out here and get these straightened out. Look at that. Okay, if any of you guys have any other ideas about how I could spread this apart and get this straightened up, I appreciate your feedback in the comments. I obviously can't fit it in my shop press, but I'm thinking about getting the farm jack and putting it in between here and just jacking it and see if that doesn't straighten that out there. Wow, I didn't think they would do it. Obviously not as good as a wrench. All right, this is not a safe way to do this. Don't do it this way. This is way too many factors and way too many things that could pop off and go flying. I need to invest in the hydraulic ram kit, and that would have solved it for me. It's a couple $100 at Harbor Freight, but it sure would be a nice tool to have. And it's almost straight there. It's more bent over here, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. The pins will stick out mostly straight. There's a little bit of adjustment in the holes that the pins go in, so a little bit of flexibility. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's get it reinforced and get going. Okay, you can see that the bend is better there. This one, it's better as well, but it's still bad. So you can see that there. So what happened was, obviously, the Subsoiler bit got pulled down that way so hard that these got pulled down like this and like this. Okay, and when those got pulled down, that narrowed it here and tried to drive these up there, and the bend occurred right here, and that's why these are bowed out there and there. Okay, so I could try to, I don't know how to bend that correctly or straighten it, so I'm just going to weld these gussets in, and hopefully it'll take care of the weak spots. Okay, so, you know, the welds look pretty good. They'll hold. The paint's not the greatest, but it's just going to get scratched off anyway, I think.